to Republican Congressman Fred Keller, state of Pennsylvania. He was in that hearing today, and I've heard Dr. Fauci, Congressman, make that exact analogy, if you will, a couple times in television interviews the last couple of days and in this congressional testimony. I'm not sure if the goal is to make sure that people are hearing it or taking this serious enough, and I'm also not sure if it affects how you and the Congress respond to what we're dealing with. What are your thoughts on both?
Well, I would say that I was there when Dr. Fauci was testifying and through the whole hearing. And the one point we want to make is that he also mentioned that they're going to paint this in the worst case scenario just to make sure people are taking it seriously, making the precautions they need to have. And also understanding, too, they talked about the denominator in this whole thing, and that is understanding how many cases there are. So, getting all that right, I think, is so very important. But, there's a lot of things that have been done so far.
So the healthcare response, and the president says he'll have responses or announcements, I should say, tonight in this address that he says he probably will make to the nation around 8 o'clock on both health and economics. The healthcare response, if you try to stay ahead of this sometimes, is dealing with, as you know, shutting events down, sporting events without fans, or canceling large gatherings and the like. And then the economic response, which we've been talking about, is maybe fiscal stimulus. Are both needed here? Are you prioritizing one over the other? How are you dealing with it as a member of Congress?
Well, I think the Congress and the president have taken this seriously. And you look at what the president did initially. He took decisive and preventative actions with the travel ban, and I know he took some criticism for that. So, we want to make sure that people are safe. They understand what to do. So we put the money in there, roughly $8 billion, to get out to federal, state, and local health agencies. But then also making sure that we communicate best practices, and everybody's been doing that. And now we got to look at the financial side of things. And again, the president has proved that he can handle an economy. Look at what he's done over the last 3 years.
What's important for you there?
Take a look at that.
The bank CEOs were talking about helping, as we said a few minutes ago, some of the gig economy workers, some of the part-time people, small and medium-sized businesses. That seems to be where their focus was, on some targeted help for people who might be in trouble here over the next, however many weeks and months that this goes on for. How do we help them?
Well, I think we've got all options on the table, like the president was discussing today, and showing that he got people into the White House and is discussing this and taking the actions and having a bipartisan discussion. I think the president's making all the right moves here and willing to look at all options: payroll taxes, loans for small businesses.
Payroll tax cuts off the table for now, isn't it, to be fair, in terms of passing the Congress? The payroll tax cut passing the Congress that's a no-go for now, isn't it?
Well, again, I don't want to say anything, be premature and try to make a prediction. I just want to say that we in Congress should work with the administration and put all options on the table.
Understood. Congressman Keller, thank you for joining us today, live from Capitol Hill. Melissa.